Yes, people, another day, another blessing. Hoping you're all well. Hoping wherever you are in the world, wherever you are in life, that it's treating you positively. And if it isn't, then it's only going to make you stronger on the flip side. So keep pushing on. Um, today, today is Thursday, the 17th of July, and it's been a busy morning so far. I had some family over from Canada, two of my second cousins, and they came over on a bit of a European trip, and they are off to Spain and then Greece as of today. And I went to my auntie's place yesterday evening, and we had a lovely dinner. I didn't know that my auntie was going to put on such a spread, but there was like three different types of chicken, so much like food, rice, macaroni, cheese, coleslaw. There was loads, and I certainly had my fill. And so I knew that my two cousins, they were going to the airport this morning. Their flight was at 8:30, and it's interesting because driving is now a way of making money for me. The idea of like offering to drive someone somewhere, there's like a calculation that goes off in my head where I'm like, oh, what would that be in terms of a fare? And this is a great example of how money can sometimes cloud your desire to do something caring and thoughtful because you're looking at the financial cost or implication. So, um, I literally had like a conversation with myself where I was like, you know what, Roman? I could feel that there was a resistance to offering to drop them to the airport. And I had to talk to myself and ask myself, where is that resistance coming from? And it was the acknowledgement that that resistance was coming from the fact that I know the time it would take me is time I could be earning from this vehicle as opposed to doing a favor. But the conversation I had to have with myself and the way I had to talk to myself was from the perspective of don't let finances cloud the idea of doing something good. Like this is a good thing to do for family. They're over here, they're heading to the airport. If you can make their life a bit easier, do it and don't think about the financial side of it. And I'm happy that I listened to that part of myself because, like I say, I could feel myself running through that conversation in my head, and I knew that in my heart I wanted to take them to the airport. In my heart, I wanted to do uh, what family should do and just help them out, and I did. And on the way back, I actually picked up a fare and that was all right. Everything worked itself out, but they got there safely. They're in Spain right now. I checked in with them to make sure that they made it safely. And, I think as human beings, we can't lose sight of doing good for the sake of doing good and not necessarily thinking about whatever the financial implication is or what the inconvenience might be to ourselves. Sometimes it's just good to be selfless and it's good to be kind. And yeah, man, and look out for your friends, look out for your family, look out for each other. So, really glad I did that, and it was lovely to see them too. And really lovely, really well educated young ladies, and really talented. So just wishing them all the best, really. Um, so that was yesterday. Today I was, like I say, I was up really early. Got up at like 4:15, and drove them to the airport. Got back down, went to the gym, did an hour cardio, and now I'm gonna pop out, do a couple of hours in the car, and then tonight I've got a gig at a private members club. And one thing I've definitely realized over the last couple of weeks is I think I've worked harder in the last couple of weeks than I have done in maybe the last couple of years. Um, there's something about working for yourself or knowing that you are in control of how much money you bring in, that it activates something different within you. It gets a different level of creativity working in your brain. And maybe some of that is sparked through fear of not having enough. Some of it is sparked through the desire to be successful. But something activates in your head when it's like, okay, I have to depend on me. And um, I think this kind of harps back to one of the things that I had heard previously before taking this jump, which was the one thing you can discover um, in terms of going into the unknown is you're going to discover more of yourself. And I'd say that's 100% true, because I I'm discovering that I am someone who will figure it out, and maybe I always knew this about myself, but I'm having to tap into that person once again, because being in a job where I'm getting a regular income, where I've got sick leave, I've got holiday pay, like all of that stuff, I think what it does is when it's a bit like what we've become as human beings in society. Like, ask yourself, really, do you know how to build a fire? If you had to build a shelter for yourself tomorrow to withstand the elements, could you do it? Would you know how to go out and forage and find food and bring it back and hunt and cook? And these are the things that we used to be able to do. But put us in an environment where we have to figure it out, we probably wouldn't know how to do it anymore, because we've become so comfortable by going to the supermarket, Deliveroo. You could eat all day long and not even move a muscle. Like, you could literally you could walk maybe 10 to 15 steps in a day from your couch to the front door, collect the food, sit back down. You could do that all day, every day for a month. That's the society we live in. And I think sometimes when you're in a job where you have a standard payment at the end of every month, don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful thing. Like, I sometimes miss it. Like, full disclosure, I miss it. I miss that regularity of money hitting my account. But what I think it also does is it made me, or what it did, just speaking about me, let me not speak generally. What it did was it made me comfortable. And in the comfort, I became lazy. And in the laziness, I forgot about the hustle and figuring things out for myself and constantly learning and developing and triggering this. So, in a major way, this whole process is making me have to tap back into that. And it ain't easy. It ain't easy. Like, some days are very hard, some days are harder than others, and some days are lovely. Some days there's just this feeling of freedom and alignment. But I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. It's hard. And um in life, I think it's all hard. You just have to choose what you're willing to withstand. Like, what hard are you willing to put up with and graft with? And at the moment, this is the hard that I'm choosing. You know, um, it's not all doom and gloom, and I think it's important to celebrate the wins and the positives. And one of the positives came my way about 2 days ago when I got an email confirming that I've made it to the regional heats for the BBC New Comedy Awards 2025. And it was a really lovely email to receive. I was a little bit worried that I maybe didn't make it, um, because I've applied on 4 occasions. I was successful in getting to the regional heats once. I think that was back in 2021. And then the following years, 2022, 2023, I applied, didn't get through. And now I've applied again, and I've been successful in getting to the heats. I know within myself I really want to make it to the TV section of this competition. Like, I know I want that. And so I'm going to be working on my 5 minute set and trying to craft it and get it to the best level that I can to give myself the best chance to get through to the TV heats. Because to have a TV credit and to have been on the BBC doing comedy will be a massive thing for me. And I think as soon as I got the email that said congratulations, immediately my brain went to the next thing, and the next thing being the next stage of the competition and wanting to get through to the next round. And within that, I started to feel all of these feelings. Like, what if I don't get it? How disappointed I'm going to be. Those were the things that actually came into my mind. And I had to have a conversation with myself and remember to be here, be present, and understand that this is a win. Whatever happens next will happen, but I can control what I can control. So I can work on my set, I can work on my craft and do the best that I can possibly do. But beyond that, it's out of my hands, you know? So just to focus on what I can focus on. If it's meant for me, it's going to be for me. But really great news, you know? I'm also in the next stage of a competition called the Spirit of Comedy Awards. I think I mentioned it on a previous vlog, and that's next week. So look, I think it's important for me to remember that right now I'm doing it. Like, this really is it. This is it. Me about to log on to Uber and go and do some driving for 3 hours. This is it. Me getting through in these competitions. This is it. Me gigging tonight, and then hosting bingo on Saturday. Like, this is it. All of this is it. I'm in it. I'm doing it here and now. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen next, but here and now, I'm doing it. It's happening. And I'm going to take a moment to really acknowledge that. But it's just hit 2 o'clock. I'm about to hit the road. Catch you in a bit. Yo, what's good? So it's been quite a long day, to be fair. Driving this morning, then I went to the gym, hour of cardio, and then I went back out on the road to do a couple more hours. And now here I am at the Electric Cinema. This is the location for the gig tonight. Just rocked up, just found parking, and luckily I made it in time, because my last job of the day, it was an elderly lady. I picked her up from Guy's Hospital and she was moving pretty slow. Lovely lady, her and her son. But I was like, man, I was feeling like I'm gonna be late, but luckily made it in time. So yeah, worked on a bit of a set list for tonight. Got some jokes that I'm gonna chuck in there, some newer jokes, some old jokes. And really, like, for this set, I just want to try and be as loose as I possibly can. Just want to be nice and loose, man, and just try and get this material out and enjoy it, you know? I can feel like the tiredness is a factor. But you know, sometimes you can be so tired that you actually feel a little bit drunk. So that's basically where I'm at the moment. I've got that kind of drunky, tired feeling, but I'm gonna knock this gig out, then I'm gonna go home and just go to bed. I'm done. All right, let's do it. Show was pretty cool. That's my boy Musin Yesalada, Omar in the back there, Junior Booker hosted, and Katie Green. That's about it.